Alright, so anyway, I bought this portable air conditioner on Craigslist, and when I went to buy it, it ran fine. Of course, you know, kind of a shyster seller, in my opinion. Yeah, she probably knew that it was like that. After running for about 15 minutes, it shuts off on its own. So I checked out what that might be, and apparently it might be what they call short cycling. So I guess sometimes that's caused by the coils being dirty. So I'm going to go ahead and take this thing apart and take a look inside, see what we find. And so maybe if you got one of these, yeah, like I said, it works fine for like 30 minutes, 20-30 minutes, and then all of a sudden it shuts off. Then it won't run for like maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, or something like that. Then it turns back on, so it's not able to really cool anything adequately. So let's take a look inside and see what happens. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take the screws out. I already got one out. Pull the hose off here. Yeah, it's kind of dirty inside. Let's see. Now this thing comes apart. That's it. There's two more in the middle. Okay. Let's see why this thing might not be working. Pull these things out. Pull these guys out. They're not dirty. Well, not that dirty. Let's put it that way. Yeah, it's a little dirty inside. Let's see. So let's take a look here. So, got coils. This is looks like that's the condenser side. Let's see, yeah. Well, then one side's got to be the evaporator side. So, kind of got to figure this out. Let's take a look at this in a minute. I'll see if I can figure this out. Well, we've got one of these, I think, is the condenser, and one's the evaporator. So one side, hot air goes in and then cycles out this vent. And then the other side, which I imagine that this is for the hot side. And then the air conditioning pump pumps Freon. You know, this would be the high pressure side, and then this is the low pressure. So then there's an expansion valve, and then it goes up into here, and then the air going into here blows out this vent. And I'm just guessing. I really don't know. I've never taken one of these apart. I've worked in automotive air conditioning, so I'm sure that there's some similarities here. So I think I need to take off the rest of the cover and let's take a look and see how dirty it is. Let me just go ahead and pause you guys, set you guys back up here and give you on pause, and then we'll take a look in a minute. So actually there was only one screw on this side here to hold that in. I mean, I would expect to see quite a bit more dirt than this if it was actually the dirt there. Well, actually, it is pretty dirty. So you look at the high side here, and see if that's not able to cool off well enough. If it's not able to cycle the air through here and actually cool those coils, that could be a problem I could see. Because what's happening is it's building enough. What's happening is the high side is either building up too much pressure, so it's not able to relieve the heat, or it could be short on freon, which, you know, how did it leak out of here? Shouldn't leak freon. It's a sealed system. Not that you can't add it to it. Or it could be that there's a lot of resistance in the motor, in the what's it called, the compressor, and that's causing it to short cycle. So anyway, let's give this a clean up and see how it works. Go ahead and hit that with the air gun. See what I get out of there. I'll go ahead and put it on pause. I'll let you guys watch as I blow it out. All right, so noise alert. I don't really see that much dirt coming out of here. I mean, it's definitely dirty. Oh, there's... Alright, so let's see. Doesn't seem like it was terribly dirty like I thought it might be. There's two layers to these coils down here in the bottom, and it could be dirty on the inside of here, but the airflow goes from the outside to the inside and goes back up and goes through this tube. From what I can see, I could actually maybe pull off this. I don't know if that thing comes off that easy. Let's see what's in there. Well, there's some electronics in here. Here's the circuit diagram. Maybe there's actually a cycling switch that's bad. Could be. You know, I think there's a cycling switch. Let me read this and check it out, and I'll get back to you guys in a minute. Proving I'm no expert with these things, but I'm just trying to learn this as I'm looking at it. So they got a diagram here to show what's in this circuit. And what I'm looking for is, you don't want to touch that, those contacts on there, because that's a capacitor. And so I'm not sure. I think that's a resistor there. It could be a capacitor too, so you might not want to touch that one, because they have energy in them, and it can give you a pretty good jolt. So should be, one of these should be a relay. What I'm thinking might be bad is the motor's not making any funny noises. A lot of times my experience with this thing has been if their compressor motor's kind of making a weird noise, then more than likely it's not working right. But there could be something called the cycling switch, which I worked on some household air conditioning units, and they have a cycling switch that goes bad. And so we got here the pressure switch. Let's see which one that one is. So it could be that the pressure switch is bad. That would definitely cause an issue. I'm just looking at where it plugs in. It looks like it plugs in right there. Yeah, this would be like this. Okay. And then you've got, yeah, that's how it is. So this here is the pressure switch. So we can follow this here. No? Let's just see. It's like this. So the pressure switch is, this looks a little different than, kind of have to figure it out. Let me figure this out a little bit. I'll get back to you guys. Alright, so what I figured out is it's this one here is the pressure switch, and it goes around here to the compressor side. It looks to me like it would go. So I kind of figured out the circuit here a little bit, and if you look here on the board, I think it's right here is actually not this one. It's up above it. I think it's right here is the pressure switch, and if I could follow that wire, it'll come around. And I'm not sure, but I'm going to check to see if it goes to that sucker right there that's on the high pressure. So there's like a little, it's on the high side because I know it's connected to, actually I haven't checked that, but I believe it's connected to, yeah, it goes to this circuit here. So that's in the high side, and that pressure switch, yeah, senses that the pressure's too high, and then we'll shut the compressor off early. So I'm no expert at this. I've only worked on a few, for myself. So if you guys are experts, be sure to chime in and let them know. Let the people know who are trying to do this themselves. Maybe a little bit more information, but so typically how the AC systems I've worked on are, is usually it has either a low side or a high side pressure switch, and sometimes they have a temperature switch on the low side, which I see they got one right here. And what it does is it senses the pressures and the temperature, and typically will, when it reaches a certain pressure, usually it's a pressure side, the high side has a pressure switch, and it will, when it feels like it's over pressurizing, then it will shut down. Well, if that's misreading and the pressures aren't that high, it'll shut off early and cause it to cycle when it shouldn't be. So that's what I'm thinking that's wrong, but I don't really know. I'm going to run this thing for a minute. Let's take a look. So we've got it plugged in now. Let's just see if it... Might be a little noisy. Sorry about that, guys. But if you see here, the fan's working fine. This is for the upper side, which is the cool side. And then you've got the lower side down here. This should be hot air that comes out of here. And eventually it will as soon as the compressor turns on. which usually takes a minute or two for it to run on before it finally cycles the compressor on. So I'm not sure if that's right either. Still cold air coming out of here. Give it about a minute, I'll come back in. Alright, so as soon as I set the thermostat below the temperature in the room here, put it down to 69 or 62, because it's pretty cold in here already because I'm in my air conditioning shop. But I heard the compressor turn on. I feel it running. It's not noisy or anything. These are starting to get just slightly warm. The air coming out of here is a little warmer. And it could be low on Freon, I don't know. Like I said, if you worked on these before, maybe you know what to do. And sure to chime in. I'll let this sit here for a minute. So as it's running, I'm noticing this is getting, it's getting a bit of, get colder up here. So I know it's working. And I guess the water runs down here and it goes down to the base as it condensates. So the compressor's functioning. It's not getting noisy. Usually after about 15 or 20 minutes it shuts off. So. Yeah, it's getting cold and everything's working. There's no extra weird noises from the compressor. Compressor's almost silent, very little noise there. Feels like it's getting a little hot. I think that's normal. I don't know. You guys tell me. You guys work on these things. I mean, should this be hot? I can barely touch it. It's not that hot. But I mean, it's pretty hot. And then it shuts off. Maybe it's getting overheating and then shutting off. Ow, man, it's hot. So, well, I'm just looking, trying to figure out what's wrong. Maybe somebody can help me out. I mean, otherwise the thing's trash anyway. I'll just have to chuck it and get a new one. But I thought maybe I could try to fix it if it's fixable. I don't know what happens when it finally shuts off. I don't know if that compressor just gets so hot that it just shuts off, and what would cause that. Maybe low on Freon? I don't know. But you can put one of those little tapper things in here, right? And add Freon to it. You can put the little clamp on tap things. I've seen those before. Not sure what's causing it to short cycle like that. Anyway, anybody got any ideas, any information, let me know. Give me an idea what you think. I'll talk to you in the next video. I'm just going by what I know. Maybe you have the same problem with yours. Comment below. Maybe you guys can figure out how to fix yours as well if you've got the same problem. All the fans don't shut off. All they work fine. The blower's running the whole time. But it just either when it gets too hot or the pressure gets too high on the high side or something, it shuts off, and then in about 10 minutes or whatever it turns back on. So that's what's going on. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And let me know what you think. I'd love to see your comments. Talk to you next video.